Okay, what if I told you that the single most important meeting deciding the future of our globe is happening live, literally right now? Picture this. In a high-security building over in Beijing, the two biggest superpowers on the entire planet, the United States and China, are sitting face to face. You've got Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping at the exact same table. And let me be clear, this isn't just some routine diplomatic visit or a friendly photo op. No way. The sheer gravity of this specific summit really cannot be overstated. We are looking at a pivotal moment in history where the tectonic plates of global power are actively shifting right beneath our feet.
And when I say history is shifting, I mean it. The decisions being hammered out in that single room today have the power to completely rewrite the global world order in the international economy for the next 10 years. Just think about that for a second. An entire decade of trade, of technological advancement, of geopolitical alignment, it all hinges on the conversations happening behind those closed doors. It's going to impact the supply chains that stock our grocery stores, the prices of the gadgets sitting in our pockets right now, and the overarching security of the whole global community. The stakes are absolutely astronomical, and the ripple effects, well, they'll be felt for a generation.
You really have to picture the incredible contrast going on right now. Outside that Beijing building, it is absolute media chaos. Cameras are flashing everywhere, reporters are shouting over each other, and the entire world's press is just clamoring for a single leak or a whispered rumor. But inside that negotiation room, it is a heavy, almost suffocating silence. It's a space where every single syllable spoken, every slight shift in tone, and even just a hand gesture carries the weight of a billion-dollar economy. This is the ultimate tension of the unknown, just hanging in the air. The whole world is basically holding its breath asking, what if the global landscape fundamentally changes today? To really understand the immense pressure inside that room, we have to look at the two incredibly powerful colliding narratives driving this whole standoff. On one hand, you have the perspective arguing that China's rapid expansion and economic strategies must be controlled and contained to maintain global fairness. On the flip side, the opposing view argues that the USA's long-standing historical dominance is being rightfully challenged by a rising power, and that America is essentially just trying to unfairly suppress competition. So we're looking impartially at these two massive opposing geopolitical pressures colliding head-on. And right in the middle of it all, us, the rest of the world, watching anxiously, desperately, just hoping for market stability and a functioning global economy.
If you strip away the polite diplomatic smiles and the formal handshakes, what you find is the real battleground: trade, tech, and tension. This isn't just some simple disagreement that can be smoothed over with a quick treaty. Not at all. This is a highly complex, multi-layered chess match for global influence. Both leaders are staring at the board, trying to anticipate not just the very next move, but the next 10 moves, using their massive economic and technological power as their primary pieces.
The reports leaking from the summit suggest the tone is surprisingly intense. In fact, experts are explicitly stating that this is definitely not normal diplomacy. They're calling it a strategic pressure game. And what that means is it's characterized by sharp, direct arguments, followed by these incredibly long, uncomfortable pauses where both sides weigh their extreme global leverage. Imagine the psychological toll of being in that room. It's basically a high-stakes game of chicken where blinking first could mean giving up billions of dollars in economic advantage or conceding crucial technological territory. It is dramatic, it is wildly unpredictable, and it is unfolding right now.
So let's break down the massive flashpoints actively under negotiation. We aren't just talking about tweaking a few tariffs to ease global trade. We are looking at aggressive trade war updates, where duties could be hiked up to severely punish competitors. It's also about absolute control over the AI revolution. There is a desperate, frantic race for semiconductors, the microchips that literally run our entire modern world. Who controls the chips controls the future. It's that simple. And all of this intense economic maneuvering is heavily complicated by the deeply sensitive historical issue of Taiwan and the massive, looming balance of military presence in Asia. You combine all of that into one negotiation, and it is a recipe for extreme volatility.
And because of all this, right now, global markets are incredibly unstable. Investors all around the world are sitting at their desks, probably refreshing their news feeds every single second, because the reality is terrifyingly simple. One mistake, one miscalculated threat, one failed compromise in that room, and global markets could be sent into an immediate crash mode. The fragility of our interconnected economy means that a breakdown in these talks doesn't just hurt the US and China. No, it sends shockwaves through every single financial institution on the planet.
And guys, this isn't just media hype. Political analysts are ringing the alarm bell, stating verbatim that this 2026 moment could become the turning point of the 21st century. I mean, wow, that is a massive statement. They view this summit as a critical juncture, quite literally a question of future global survival and stability. The decisions being made today will echo for decades, defining the alliances, the conflicts, and the technological landscape that our children are going to inherit. It is truly that serious, and the experts are watching with bated breath.
Actually, a lot of experts are comparing this summit to the era of the Cold War. You know, a world threatening to completely fracture into two opposing blocs. But there is a massive difference today. Think about it. In the 20th century Cold War, the ultimate weapons of intimidation were military might. We're talking tanks, missiles, troops. But in the 2026 Cold War, the weapons are completely different. Today's weapons are AI chips, control over vital supply chains, economic sanctions, and market tariffs. It's a war fought on silicon and spreadsheets. But trust me, the fallout is just as real.
So these two leaders are facing an ultimate ultimatum with two wildly diverging paths for our immediate future. If they manage to reach an agreement, global trade finally stabilizes, the tech industry experiences a massive boom of collaborative innovation, and the world economy enters a true recovery mode. Sounds great, right? But if these talks fail? We plunge into a new, rigid Cold War, global supply chains completely break down, causing massive shortages, and we enter an aggressive, entirely unregulated AI tech race that could be incredibly dangerous. The contrast between success and failure here is absolutely staggering.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to remind you that this is not a history lesson. This is an actively unfolding live event. Every single update that leaks out, every formal statement delivered to the press, every handshake or, lack thereof, is actively rewriting world history in real time. The biggest game of 2026 isn't over. In fact, the real implications of this summit have only just begun to reveal themselves. The geopolitical chessboard has been set, the opening moves have been made, and now the entire world must deal with the consequences of the middle game.
So, as Donald Trump and Xi Jinping conclude their talks, we all have to ask ourselves, will this 2026 summit ultimately find common ground and connect the world, fostering a new era of complex but functional cooperation? Or will it serve as the definitive moment that permanently divides the globe into competing, hostile spheres? It's the ultimate question of global unity versus global fracture. Keep your eyes glued to the news because the answer to this question will define the reality we all wake up to tomorrow. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.